You know, guys, what's so strange is here we are coming toward the weekend, and we still don't have results out of Arizona, and we don't have results out of Nevada. Inexplicable delays. Now, in Arizona, there were problems with the counting, on election day itself. Problems specifically in Maricopa County. And remember, Maricopa County, very important county, the Phoenix area. But in Nevada, where those problems were not reported, here we are days later, and they're still, quote, counting. How long does it take to count? So I thought Debbie and I could talk a little bit about the problems that we have in these, seemingly, again, the interesting, honey, that these problems are in swing states.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I don't know if it's just because we are focused on them because they're swing states, or if somehow, mysteriously, the problems tend to develop in precisely the states which are going to deliver to us in this case. I mean, look, if Adam Laxalt beats Cortez Masto in Nevada and Blake Masters wins in Arizona, we have the Senate. We're not even dependent on the Herschel Walker race in Georgia. Now, if we lose one of those, I think we're going to win the Nevada race with Laxalt. I don't know what's going to happen with Blake Masters. If Blake Masters loses, we will be then depending on Herschel Walker to win in the runoffs in early December. So, but talk a little bit about the New York Times and its kind of take
So
on how Republicans are making a big deal out of nothing.
Yeah, so it says voting machine problems in Arizona fuel right-wing fraud claims, right? So basically, I heard Carrie Lake yesterday say that there are still 600,000 votes that have not been counted. Can you believe that? 600,000? So, and she's getting very, very close to winning, and she's only a few thousand votes behind. So anyway, but what happened is about a quarter of the voting sites had some type of irregularity. I mean, they couldn't read the print, the ink wasn't dark enough. I mean, they just had all kinds of issues. So, Kerry has been urging people, vote on election day, vote on election day. And unfortunately, people that did go on election day, some of them were turned away and they had no recourse, right? So their vote didn't count, basically. So that's a problem in Maricopa County. They need to fix this because, so it says a series of technical glitches, this is the New York Times, a series of technical glitches disrupted ballot counting on Tuesday at about 1 in 4 voting centers in Republican-led Maricopa County, Arizona. And then it says rekindling embers of baseless voter fraud claims in the right-wing media and politicians. Well, I don't understand how they can say baseless, because when things like this happen, what else are we going to say? I mean, can you imagine if it was the other way around? These people would be going nuts. They would. So anyway, so it's really annoying, I guess, when they claim that we're, baseless claims of this and that, but yet they don't fix their machines. They don't fix their vote, their ability to have a well-run election. I don't know why they don't do that.
I mean, you had problems with the tabulating machines in Maricopa County. By the way, there was a county in Philadelphia, in Pennsylvania, that ran out of paper. So think about that. And when these are close states, remember that in 2020, the margin in Arizona was something like 11,000 votes. So it's not as if this doesn't make a difference. When you have, these aren't glitches if they're delivering the election one way or the other. If you're able to discourage even a small percentage of people from voting, wow, you're securing you're kind of basically rigging the election. So the impact has to be considered. The second point to remember here in 2022, who is running the election in Arizona? Katie Hobbs. Katie Hobbs is the Secretary of State. Now, Carrie Lake said from the beginning of the campaign, Katie Hobbs, you should step down. You can't run an election that you're running in. And yet Katie Hobbs like, no. This reminds me a little bit of these, jurors in DC in the January 6th trials where they're like, yeah, I work for the government. Yeah, I have my company has contracts with the Capitol, but you know what? I can be objective. So in other words, here you've got an apparatus conducting the election that has a stake in the election. So I think that concerns about this, and by the way, no one is saying that they stole the election in 2022. Carrie Lake and me and others, we've been very responsible in highlighting these problems and saying that they need to be fixed. And one of the things that Carrie Lake goes, listen, if I get in, if I'm elected, or when I'm elected, I'm going to make sure that this kind of nonsense doesn't happen again.